Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. So today's video is going to be another Luigi's Mansion 3 video. This one's going to be about something I actually posted on my community tab a few days ago, basically saying that Luigi's Mansion 3 is a cooperative game and it's mostly focused on two-player co-op, and that I would have preferred if they didn't do that. And for the most part, people agreed with me. You know, they were like, oh yes, I agree, this is something I've noticed as well, so I'm glad that for the most part, most people understand where I'm coming from. But there were some people who did not see this game as a cooperative game. There's some people that were like, I don't see how this is a cooperative game. You're just swapping between two characters, and you know, that's how the puzzles are. Well, today I'm going to try and debunk that, because I really want to show that this game is designed for two players. And I think the easiest way to do that is going to be showing you guys gameplay. And I'm also going to be comparing it to a different game that kind of falls under the same category. So, without any further ado, guys, let's get started with today's video.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
So before we even look at Luigi's Mansion 3, I'm actually going to be pulling up one of my favorite games, or I should say favorite childhood games, that I played when I was younger, and that is Shrek 2 on the Nintendo GameCube. So here you are seeing gameplay. Now, obviously, here you're seeing me run around as Shrek. But there are other puzzles that I need to solve with other characters. So the main objective, if you're playing single player, is to switch between the 4 characters that you can play as and use their abilities to continue forward. But it is very obvious that you really want to play this game with friends. Hence why players can hop in at any time and take control of any character they want. So this game really is a 4-player co-op game, you know, that you just happen to be able to play single player. And I think that's kind of an obvious thing, you know, oh yeah, you know, there's 4 characters there and anyone can hop in at any time, and it works really well if you all work together. So of course this game has co-op play in mind. So what's the difference with Luigi's Mansion 3? The only difference is that rather than 4 players, or 4 characters to swap between, there's 2, being Luigi and Gooigi. Because sometimes you need Gooigi to solve other puzzles that Luigi can't do, just like, let's say, you need Gingerbread Man to throw his candy cane or to throw the cookies that Shrek can't do. So, you know, like I said, it's a game that you can play with one person, but it's more ideal if you have more than one person. And to that, some people will probably still say, yeah, but it's still not like swapping between 4 characters, there's only 2, and Gooigi isn't used all the time. You know, so for the most part, he's in your backpack, so there really isn't a, you know, co-op focus. Alright, so let me bring up a couple instances where I can just call you out there. Let's take the whole Boilerworks floor, for instance. You're telling me that it's not ideal to play co-op on that floor? Boilerworks, where Luigi and Gooigi are separate at all times and you have to keep switching between the two? What about the boss fight with the Godzilla boss fight on Morty's floor? That one is literally designed. You have to use both characters at the same exact time to blow the fireball back at the Godzilla. What about in Garden Suites, in that watermelon room, where you have to use both Luigi and Gooigi to slam a watermelon? What would be the point of that rather than to just basically promote the co-op? They're not going to do it as, oh, this is too heavy for just Luigi, so now you got to use Gooigi. That's there to promote the co-op. It's there to promote the player too. You know, that's the whole reason Gooigi is there in the first place. What about the boss fight with Ugg, where you need to use Gooigi to attract the Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, so that, you know, you can use Gooigi as kind of a human shield in a way, so that you can attack the dinosaur. So you see, there's all these little things where you do need both characters. So yes, it is a co-op designed game where you need both characters at the same time, but you have to swap between them awkwardly. Basically, any puzzle that requires you to swap to Luigi, complete something, then swap back to Luigi, that's the focus. Look at Castle McFrights. You know, switching to Gooigi to walk across spikes. That's more so something for co-op. Like, it feels so stupid to have to switch to Gooigi just to walk across spikes. But if you're playing co-op, you have to tell your buddy, oh, you have to walk across those spikes to, let me over. It kind of makes more sense in a co-op setting rather than a single-player setting. And of course, you can't argue that so many reviewers said that they preferred playing this game with a partner in co-op rather than playing it alone. And that's where I have a problem with this game. Co-op is not inherently a bad thing for Luigi's Mansion. I think Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS did it pretty well, albeit it ran horribly because of the hardware. No clue why they didn't bring that game to the Switch. But nevertheless, the reason why it works so well is because it wasn't forced. It felt more like something you had an option of, like something that wasn't something. There wouldn't be an advantage of playing with another player over playing by yourself. Because Luigi's Mansion, the first two games are single-player, story-driven, I'll put that one in quotes, games. So the third game, forcing a co-op thing in, to me, it just doesn't work. Like, Luigi's Mansion is supposed to be a game where you feel alone. You're looking for your brother. And, it's just, I don't get why it's a forced gimmick that you have, quote unquote, to work with a partner, Gooigi being the partner, obviously. And like I said, so many people agreed with me. I knew that when I posted that, it was going to be greeted with a lot of questions. A lot of, how is it a co-op? Or a lot of people saying, oh no, it's so much better that it's co-op focused. But to me, that's not what Luigi's Mansion ever was. And I feel like so many people are going to come at me because like, oh, Zach, now you just want the game to be like the original. And there's a difference between wanting it to be like the original and wanting it to be a good follow-up to the original. Being like the original would literally just be copy and paste of everything that the first game does. But following the footsteps of the first game is more like doing again what the first game did, but adding something new and not completely changing the formula of the game. You see, this is where the whole changing developers thing comes in. Next Level Games took control of Luigi's Mansion, very obviously, and ever since then it's been completely different. Obviously, the atmosphere that the first game had, gone. The dialogue that the Portrait Ghost had, gone. Everything that I thought was charming about the first game is just not present in the third game. Something I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing another review for Luigi's Mansion 3 because for the most part I was very fair on the game. I mostly looked at it from a broader sense, from a non-Luigi's Mansion fan stance. I don't know when, but maybe in a few weeks, month, something like that, I'm going to have up another review of Luigi's Mansion that's really going to dig into this game because I like the game. This is not me saying that this game is bad. This is not me saying that this is not a good sequel to Luigi's Mansion. Because it's a good Luigi's Mansion game. To me, it's just not as good as it could have been because, to me, it just didn't seem unique. It didn't stand out. It felt like just another Mario game. And it's a shame, too, because Luigi's Mansion was such a unique thing on the GameCube with the creepy atmosphere and just the overall different feeling. It didn't feel like just another Mario game. To where now it's like, oh, with the goofy personalities of all the characters and how silly everything is, and it really takes away from the spookiness that you never see in Mario games to begin with. So now it's just becoming lighthearted and comedic like every other Mario game on the planet. Okay, I know I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but you guys get what I mean. The co-op, in my personal opinion, just completely took away from the actual game itself. And you could ask, oh, but Zach, what was really the problem with playing with Gooigi? My problem is that with Gooigi added, in my opinion, really stupid puzzles. Like, I like the Castle McFright's floor in general, but I thought the puzzles were so lame and so uninspired. They're very drab, and there were so many instances where I thought Gooigi was a hindrance over an asset. I personally tried to go as much of the game as I could without using Gooigi. And, so many people were telling me, oh, Zach, in the Clem boss fight down in Boilerworks, you should have used Gooigi and kept him up top. And that's where I'm like, why should I have to? I should be able to beat Clem, or really any Portrait Ghost, Boss Ghost, without using Gooigi, unless that's kind of the main focal point of the battle. Like, for example, Cruller. Kind of have to use Gooigi there because he's behind bars. But again, that's something that I don't think makes sense. Because, again, this game wants to be co-op and single player at the same time. It kind of falls under an identity crisis. Because if you're playing co-op and you're fighting Crawler, well, only Gooigi can fight Crawler, right? So what's player 1 doing the whole time? Just sitting there twiddling their thumbs while player 2's doing the battle? Like, that sounds really lame. Like, that sounds horrible. And look at Johnny Deepend's fight. Johnny Deepend, it's so much better to use someone as Luigi to distract him as someone takes Gooigi and goes and turns off the water. So there's so many instances where it's advantageous to use Gooigi over Luigi, or just having both players there. And that's my problem. It shouldn't be advantageous. Gooigi should just be there as an optional co-op partner. There should be no added benefits, no added anything with Gooigi. So now, one of my main fears going forward is if they make a Luigi's Mansion 4, that they're going to hack on Gooigi again and make him a new forced gimmick. And that's going to actually make me upset. Like, why force this gimmick on us, like this co-op gimmick? Like, you know, if they want to use him for Scarescraper, whatever. This game, you know, that's actually, hold on. This game has so much forced multiplayer now that I'm thinking about it. The single player mode is multiplayer. It has 2 other multiplayer modes. Luigi's Mansion, like, Scarescraper is one thing. Busting ghosts with your friends, climbing up a tower, cool, that's awesome. But Scream Park, who asked for that? Who plays it? Who cares? No one. I haven't seen anyone talk to me about Scream Park. No one has commented to me saying, wow, Scream Park is really, really good. No, I haven't seen anyone care. So why have that dumb multiplayer mode? Cool that it's there, I guess, but why? Why was it needed? Scarescraper, in my personal opinion, was good enough, but they should have added more to the Scarescraper now that we're getting paid DLC. The Scarescraper is missing some fundamental features like a difficulty setting, an endless mode, so many fundamental features that the second game Scarescraper had. It didn't have the difficulty slider, but it had the endless mode. So all these are missing, but now we're getting paid DLC, which won't include these other features that we're still missing. So I don't understand why Luigi's Mansion 3 is a mostly multiplayer-focused game. Now, of course, this is my own personal opinion. You can obviously agree to disagree or disagree with me in the comments. I don't care what you guys do. But you gotta admit that there's obviously moments where it's beneficial to use Gooigi over Luigi. And to me, it's like, then why have a swap between the 2 characters? Why not give Luigi more abilities? Or, you know, why not just make it so that Luigi can do everything himself without Gooigi? You know, like, you should, like, you know, for example, if this game wasn't co-op focused, you should be able to beat Johnny Deepend without using Gooigi. You should be able to defeat Ugg without using Gooigi. So you're forcing this 2-player component in a single-player experience, and it feels not only tacked on, but shoved down your throat. And like I said, a lot of people are saying that they prefer to play this game multiplayer, and that should be something I should be praising, but I'm not playing Luigi's Mansion for co-op. I'm not playing Luigi's Mansion so that I can give a Joy-Con to a friend and play with 2 people. Like I said, Scarescraper is one thing. It's a side mode, it's multiplayer, it's ghost busting, it's Luigi's Mansion, but with multiplayer. You know, it's cool, that's cool. But Scream Park wasn't needed. It doesn't scream Luigi's Mansion to me. The modes did not seem fun at all. I haven't even played them because none of them look entertaining at all. I mean, the ghost hunting mode is just basic. I mean, you could do that in Scarescraper, so why bother playing the minigame in Scream Park? So, I don't know. What do you guys think about, in my opinion, the forced multiplayer, or the at least beneficial multiplayer in Luigi's Mansion 3? I personally think Luigi's Mansion should just be a single-player experience. Not every single game needs to have multiplayer components to them. You know, they just really don't. You know, and especially when one already has multiplayer components, like Dark Moon with the Scarescraper, you don't need to shove more in. Like, I get it, you want to add features and all that, but if you're going to add a co-op mode, make it non-intrusive to the actual game. They did that with the original game's remake on the 3DS, so why not do that with 3? Why not make it non-intrusive so that the single-player experienced players that don't care about co-op, that don't want co-op in this game, why not make it so that they can have some fun? I don't know, the more and more I've brewed, and I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 3 for a second time, the more and more I'm letting this get through me, the more negative I'm getting about this game. And I know so many people are going to get at me for that, like, oh my god, all he wants to talk about is the negatives, but I'm serious. Like, this is not the Luigi's Mansion that I wanted. But we can go into that in a whole other video. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This weekend, actually, no, this Friday, actually, will be a really fun video. I actually have a decent-sized pickup video planned. I'm going to be getting some games from GameStop that I got during their, like, Christmas deal, buy 2 get 2 free. I picked up some games from flea markets. I got a Christmas gift card, so I bought a game from there. And I'm also getting a big green guy from First Floor Figures up here for the shelf. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't dislike. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.